guys. Welcome to this week's episode of The Wilsons on Wilson. It's been a really busy week. I had Wanda out for a bit and she helped me again with some of the raspberries. So we've transplanted so many raspberries now. We are going to have hundreds that are either going to be available for us to plant next year or potentially maybe sell a couple or something. I'm not really sure, but I'm really excited that I got to work on that with Wanda. So today we are going to be working on fencing, which, oh my gosh, is that ever necessary? Patrick and Brooke have a wonderful dog named Diesel. Him and Annabelle are like star-crossed lovers. They've got some Romeo and Juliet stuff happening, and no matter how much we try and keep them apart, they will flat out injure themselves trying to get to each other just so that they can play in a field or tear up a garden, which realistically is usually their favorite thing. Diesel will hop the fence, and then Annabelle takes off, and the next thing I know,
excuse me?
My gardens are tore up.
Get out of there.
My dahlias are snapped off.
Anyways.
And I'm running through the field yelling at the dogs. So it's definitely one of those things that needs to happen. We started it yesterday, pulling some posts and pulling out the old fencing and stuff. It was actually such a beautiful morning. We kind of were tucked away in this shady spot in the yard, kind of getting the job started. And
how many different pieces of fence do you think are band-aided together here making this one? 20 pieces?
Oh, I don't know. There's got to be at least 10 different
Band-aids on band-aids on band-aids?
Yeah.
You know, it's just so beautiful. All you can hear is birds, and the creek is just, you know, flowing beside us like some sort of magic little space that is pretty beautiful. But anyways, Brendan and Kirsty are coming over today, and we're gonna get to work on the fencing. We've got a big day ahead of us, a big couple days ahead of us. It's gonna take us a while, I think, to get it all accomplished because it's really tricky land. Everything is up and down, and it's, you know, there's not many straight lines in sight. So it's definitely gonna be a tricky job for fencing, but I think it's gonna be really cool. So I'm gonna hop in the shower and do my best to wake the heck up and go see just how much we can get done. So I'll see you guys out there.
All right. Greenhouses are open. Everything's breathing.
Hey, comfrey.
Look at you identifying plants.
Well, I know. Oh, thanks. I was checking on the morels yesterday, and I'm like, oh, all of our comfrey's coming up.
Yeah, our comfrey, like this one Cody just planted, I don't know, a couple days ago. Mm-hmm. Our comfrey's like
there.
Yeah, looking super bushy in some of these areas. It's looking really good.
Okay, this bad boy, it's so pretty. What is this?
This is Campsis.
Okay.
So this is like a fairly aggressive climber. You have to, when you plant it, you have to be really careful with where you choose for it to be. And then you have to just keep it at bay because like it'll swallow a house whole and rip siding off if you just
leave it,
right? It has these little grabby, I don't know what they're called technically, but these little grabby bits anyways. And it'll rip your siding right off. But if you plant it in a nice spot and you keep it trimmed every year, it is glorious. And then we have the honeysuckle on the other side. So it should grow together. And then I'm hoping that it just grows as companions. That's my goal anyways. So like, whereas this one wants full sun, this can handle sun, but it also doesn't mind some shade on its leaves being a little bit more tender. So I think that they're gonna work really well together.
Especially with the hosta.
Yeah.
Because as soon as this grows in and fills in, the hosta's like, yeah, some shade.
Exactly, and the rocket too, this rocket wants shade as well. So my goal was I planted super sunnies here.
Yeah.
So like things that handle sun, things that handle sun but like can handle a little bit of shade, and then things that want shade.
Yeah.
So then my hope is that as this grows over, it's
gonna love that.
Yeah, and it's all yellows and oranges. This whole shebang is yellow and orange.
Look, he's actually quite pretty.
Very nice.
Cutie patootie.
Okay, so the basic game plan for today is we've got a few things on the go because we're still working on the fence, but pounding those posts is basically a two-man job. And until we're pulling fencing, we don't really need all hands on deck. So we're going to be laying out poles for all of this stuff. So laying out the poles for the raspberries, laying out the poles for the circle. We're going to be leveling off some stuff in that zone. We've got a ton of potatoes that need to be planted. We're going to string up the peas too. We have the 2 boxes of peas. So we're going to be using the landscape, like the U-pins and then strings, and we're going to string them up in the greenhouse. So I think that's pretty much what's going to fill our time when it's not all hands on deck is potatoes, peas, and poles. The 3 Ps.
I love
The
that.
3 Ps today. When you think about it, what we're doing is we're doing a post and then a board and a board sandwiched on the post. We're drilling holes through the wood and then we're running wire down like on either side of this so that it keeps it standing up. 1, 2, 3. So that's 2, 1, 2, 3. See, 10.
I like it.
Yeah, each entranceway gets an arch. Look at how short this tulip is.
That's her. Tiny bitty baby.
So it'll be like coming up here and here. There'll be 2 poles here. And it'll come up, and then it'll just kind of grow over, and then all the plants will come up. So we're gonna have archways in each of the entrances. It is going to be super beneficial for our dahlias and all of our tall things that are gonna be growing along here, but also it's gonna look really cool. So that's important too.
So excited to get these posts into the garden area as well, because we're gonna bang posts in all around the ceremony circle and in through the raspberries to keep them up, and it's just gonna be really, really cool. And it's kind of something that I've dreamt of before I was even here, before I even had the circle garden. For years, I've dreamt of doing some sort of like beautiful cottage style fencing in amongst my garden bits, so I have something to tie them back to, and doing these beautiful arches and things like that. So it's kind of a dream come true, and I am pretty stoked on it.
So I'm just going through with the shovel and chicking out the hill, and then I'm gonna rake it all back and forth. So it's up to you if you want to man the shovel or the rake.
I mean, I can do shovel.
Okay.
I know shovel. Come on. Tap it. Hit. That's it.
So this is actually a good example right here too. In a previous episode, I was talking about how I pinch my phlox back, and sometimes I'll pinch the entire bunch down to be lower, and sometimes I'll just pinch the front so that you can actually get a gradient and the front of the phlox bit will be shorter. So here you can see how I pinched. So these guys are short in the frame, and then these guys back here I didn't pinch at all, so they're taller. So as they bloom, it'll be like that. Instead of it all blooming together, it'll actually have this beautiful gradient so you can see more of the blooms. Like this stuff will bloom first, it'll start here and then it'll just cascade down with all sorts of blooms, as opposed to somewhere like over there where I pinched everybody short all at once, so it's going to be just a shorter, sort of more bushier area. It's cool.
Going uphill sucks.
Oh, look at this. This fence is taller than these posts. The posts went in too far. On today's episode, Emily made a stick that was supposed to be 5 feet tall, but by chance, might not have been. Can somebody measure my stick and make sure it's 5 feet, because I feel anxiety currently. Please be 5 feet. How big is it?
5 feet.
Excellent.
Your fencing is over 5 feet.
Yeah, pull your end out. I'm so glad that wasn't my. Yeah. You guys. Brooke, me too. I'm real happy for you that you didn't f them up. I was like, I made the stick. So glad the stick was 5 feet. Okay, here's the plan. We're gonna take these pins. It's a bag in a bag, hold on.
Bagception.
Here we go. Oh, look, it ripped open, that was easier. We're gonna take pins, we're gonna tie a string to one end of it, we're gonna over the thing, we're gonna have another pin in here. So it's gonna be pins going through the box, here to here. We'll be tying, maybe one of the taller than me people could do that part. And then we're gonna come to here. We're gonna cut this. And then we're just gonna tie it to here. Right? And then that's basically it. Those are in there nice and tight. Now we can train the peas to just kind of make their way up there. We can cut a bunch of strings that are all the same length and then just ticka, ticka, ticka. Ticka, ticka, ticka. I'll leave that one there, actually.
So you're putting up these strings because peas like to climb, right?
Yeah, so these peas are definitely gonna wanna climb if they go on the ground. There are some bush peas and bush beans and stuff like that, but for the most part, I like the viney kind because we get a lot of rain out here. There's so much moisture, and I always find that with bush beans or bush anything, like tomatoes that like the ground or anything like that, I always feel like they get more rot in them and they're more prone to powdery mildew and all sorts of stuff that I don't want anything to do with. So yeah, I usually tend to go with the climbers. Okay, so I think we're actually going to call it for today because the wind is seriously picking up.
In case you were wondering, this is bullshit. It's windy.
And it is blowing everything everywhere. So we're pretty sure it's gonna start raining at any moment. So we're gonna call it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the bits and bobs of us getting the fencing going and everything. And we'll see you again next week. Okay, so it's pouring rain. The wind came, everything happened, it's pissing out. But we haven't given up. We are going to keep going until the sun goes down, until every post is in the ground. We're doing it. We're doing it. Look at it. Thanks for all your help today, Mike. This is actually so exciting. The boys are pounding the post in the ceremony circle.
Emily,
Yes. Yes.
how high do you want this bed?
1 sec.